In this video, I'm going to answer questions that I received about physical commodity trading. How to start, how to break into the industry, traders compensation. I'm going to answer them all. And at the end of the video, I'll speed run through the 8 most common questions that I receive from beginners. And if you are new to this channel, I'm Damien and I've been involved in the commodity trading industry for over 15 years. And today I own a few businesses related to commodities. That's my credential. So let's start with a question that I received on a weekly basis. Hello Damien, I have 2 quick questions. Based on your experience and network, how much does a trader typically earn per year? What is the minimum and maximum you've seen? Man, it's quite a difficult question to give an answer. For the minimum, alright, if we speak about the first world countries, like basically like prime trading hub, I would say for a junior, below 60k is extremely badly paid. Obviously, as a base and this, you need to get bonuses and plus, but below 60k is like awful. Maybe this is the lowest that I've heard. Yeah, that will be it. And regarding the maximum, man, the maximum, there's no maximum. I think the maximum is infinity. And once you get basically at the partner level, or you get share in the big private companies, you are minting money like every year like crazy. So I would say I've heard like base salary, $500,000 for like a senior trader, plus all bonuses and so on. So you can easily be more than 1 million. Easily. I've heard base salaries that was like million plus, but man, there's not a lot of people that earn that much money as a salary. But usually you make more money, of course, with bonuses and also like a dividend from the company. Have you ever closed a EN 590 10 ppm deal? Or do you know someone who has? All right, man. So, okay. Yes, I remember why I put this question. So for the people that doesn't know, EN 590 10 ppm is basically diesel. So he's asking me if I've closed a diesel deal. I've been trying for a long time, but so far nothing has worked out. Thanks again, Mark. All right, man, I've closed those type of deal. I know a lot of people that close those deal, and they close those deal on a weekly basis, man. What I think you are is a broker, intermediate, mandate, whatever you want to call yourself, and you try to close deal. But you know, if this is what you are trying to do as a broker, then it's impossible, man. It's impossible. There's none, and there's no deal for you to close. Obviously, you don't know the market. How you think you can close something when you don't know the market, man? I mean, stop wasting your time, man. Stop wasting your time. It's not by being on LinkedIn, WhatsApp group, or whatsoever that you are going to close anything. It's not going to happen, man. Okay, think that you have the money to build a refinery. You are going to put 250 million, 500 million, I don't know, to build a refinery, to refine crude oil into diesel. You really think that the guy that put 500 million or 200 million to produce a refinery cannot pay like 5 guys to go and market the diesel and to try to find buyers? You really think that the refinery needs some random dude on the internet to sell their product? Honestly, dude, wake up. Dear Mr. Wuston, I have a maybe question. Do you worry to create future competitor with your academy? Jens. All right, Jens. So by your name, I guess you're a German speaker, because you wrote it well, my name, so it's already a tell. All right, it's not a question, it's maybe just because you are too inexperienced. No, I don't worry at all that I'm going to produce like a competitor with my academy, because the market is big. No, what I'm producing with my academy, down the line, I'm producing allies, you know. The people that went through the academy, that got a job, or the people that went through the academy and that started the trading business, they are my allies. So I'm producing an army of allies, not competitor. The market is big. The market is big, and I trade niche product, niche trade flow, where the competition is already there, you know. I don't see how some people could come on the same trade flow as I from my academy because they heard that I did that. So, man, it's like, it's not really realistic. I mean, obviously it's possible, it's a possibility, but it's not realistic. It's like the world is infinite in terms of possibilities. Those markets are huge. There is a lot of room for a lot of smaller traders, man. Don't worry. Hey, big boss. I love the guy called me big boss. It reminds me of one of my favorite clients, a guy from West Africa. I will put a picture here. And he used to call me, hey, grand patron. Like a grand patron, like a big boss in French. Cool guy, cool guy. What type of opportunities are you looking for? Man, That's a good question. You know what? I'm not looking for any opportunities right now. I'm not looking for any opportunities. My plate is already full. So that's a good question, but I'm not looking for anything. I've already too much with what I have. So please stop sending me opportunities. Honestly, the only thing that I would be interested to work on is if like already someone with a lot of capital or some company that have a lot of capital that want to develop their trading arm for whatsoever and they're looking for someone to help them with that. Those type of stuff, it's more interesting, more high level. But otherwise, man, don't, man. And and those people that keep sending me, man, I know some guys, they can sell to me rice. Should we partner up, Damien? No, please, don't, man. Hey, Damien, I'm currently in commodity market research as an analyst, but I have become quite disillusioned with its forecasting purpose. I was wondering what your thoughts were on the level of analysis within commodity market and its uses. Do you read any yourself on a regular basis? Cheers, man. Love what you're doing, brother. All right, Brad. So, man, the fact that you are delusional, I mean, it means that you've seen the light at the end of the tunnel, man. Honestly, I don't believe in analysis, man. So if someone really have like a good probabilistic indicator or analyze or whatever, this guy is now on his yacht like surfing like pina colada with 10 beautiful wifes around him. He's not an analyst, you know, in a sub shop or whatever, man. I've read so many analyses. I mean, when I was younger, I spent my time reading everything that I could. But then I've just noticed that most of them are just I'm not saying they're useless, they're not. But because for a trader, they give you context. So context is important and gives you to say to your client. But honestly, now I don't read nothing, man. And you know, even to them, my business partner, he sent me a message. He's like, look, the OPEC said that, whatever. I'm like, sure, okay. Why do I care, honestly, man? Because I've seen so many guys, you know, they take position based on things that never materialize. So yeah, man, I don't really believe in analyze, man. I mean, I do believe in it. It gives you context to understand something, but in its predictive ability, zero. What do you do when you have buyers who have the money but won't budge unless there is some kind of proof of product and past performance from the sellers? Sellers won't budge and buyers won't budge. Is there a way around it, Eric? Yes, Eric, you should be a trader instead of being like, I don't know, some type of broker. Because if you were a trader, you would buy under the term of the seller and resell under the term of the buyer. Oh, past performance, proof of product. Like, what proof of product, man? It's like, why do you need a proof of product, man? You need a proof of product if you like doing some broker and you don't know with who you deal. But yeah, man, so is there a way around? Yes. You know what, man? Honestly, I think you are trying to put something together. I'm not trying to be mean with you, Eric, just trying to be entertaining for YouTube. But dude, man, you know what? If you really think that there is something here, ask a trading company to carry the deal for you and take a cut on the carry, man. This is what a professional would do. Hey, by the way, guys, if you want your question answered, just go on the Shipping and Commodity Academy website, download our brochure, and you will be automatically put on our mailing list. And when I need question for a video like this, I will drop an email to our mailing list. What's the most dangerous characteristic of a trader? Sule. All right, Jude, man, what do you mean? What the most dangerous characteristic of a trader? Like, it seems like you are speaking about the game, like a level knife fighter, level 10. All right, if you mean like what is the biggest flaw that a trader could have is, I think it's ego again. I think the ego in a trading world is very important because it's something that will push you to be better than the others, to be more aggressive, but also this misplaced ego, I don't know if you can say that in English, could be like the worst. Okay, let me give you two examples of it. There's one example, hairdresser, the barber. So that guy, I mean, we go to the same gym. Every morning I see him, every morning he sees me. Then we struck a conversation. He said, oh, I'm the barber, can cut your hair. I'm like, all right, dude, like next time I need to cut my hair, I'll go to your shop. I went to his shop and the guy, it took him like more than 1 hour to cut my hair. Come on, man. I don't have 1 hour, man. I don't have 1 hour, man. Look at this, man. You don't need 1 hour and a half to cut my hair. So he was extremely diligent, like, I don't know if I was a fucking Picasso model or whatever, man. But anyway, 1 hour, it's way too long. So next time, I didn't go to his shop and then I went to another one. And you know, he saw me at the gym and he also saw that I cut my hair. And from that day, he didn't say hello. I need to be the one that say hello to him, good morning, otherwise he wouldn't reply. And I was like, dude, man, this is such a misplaced ego, man. Honestly, man, you should have asked me, why, man, why? I see that you cut your hair in a different place. Why, man? Just let me know what's up. And you know, I'm quite friendly, man. So I don't know if he would have done that. I would say to him like, man, I don't have 1 hour. You need to cut my hair under 30 minutes. And maybe he would have done that. But because of that, I guess it's ego. Yeah, man, he lost a client. Anyway, something about commodity trading. I think maybe it's a better illustration. So I remember this story very well. So I was in Dubai for the Gulf Food. I was with my colleague, and then at that time I was a dairy trader. We used to buy milk powder a lot from Poland and ship it to West Africa. And I had to get a supplier in my pocket, a very important supplier, because he used to produce, I don't know if he still do that, but a quality that I needed for the West African market. And the guy arrived, and man, that was so funny. So he could speak French like extremely well, man. That was quite surprising for a guy from Poland that lived in Poland and so on. Anyway, and basically after like 2-3 minutes in the conversation, he started to insult my country, like Switzerland, and insult the Swiss people and so on. Man, I was like, what is going on here? Like, why do you do that, man? And I remember that he said something like, you know, you Swiss people, you have nothing in your country, only mountains. And he said, you know that in Russia, Swiss, it said Schweizer, something like this. And this is the same word that the guy that stand at the door and clean the shit of the horses in front of the house. And I was like, okay, yeah, because back in the day, Switzerland was such a poor country that you would emigrate in other countries and you would just like clean the shit of horses in the very posh house. And I was like, all right, okay, man. I remember I was like, man, who is this guy, man? Why do you say that? And you know, if I had like a misplaced ego, I would thought, but you know, I didn't care. I just thought it was so funny. I laughed through all the meeting, and at the end, you know what? He really liked me, even though I was from Switzerland. And we did a lot of business together. And because of him, man, I made so much money. So if I had like a misplaced ego or whatever, like nationalistic tendency, man, I would have had to fight him. I don't know what you should. I mean, that was just so funny because it was like out of nowhere, the guy came and just insulted me. Hello, Mr. Damien. It's really possible to put a deal together with no money down. Yes, it is. Because when I asked my bank for a back-to-back LC, they said I still need to fund the purchasing LC. Patrick. Okay, Patrick. So obviously, when you ask your bank for a back-to-back LC, they will ask you to bridge the gap between the two LCs. Man, this is what banks do. Maybe in 30 years ago, the bank will use the first LC as the collateral for the second LC, but right now, none. You can still find that maybe in some countries, like if the second LC is in the same country of you and your buyer, if all the three parties are in the same country, maybe the bank will decrease the amount of collateral that you need. But yeah, man, this is exactly it. So yes, to answer your question, obviously you can make a lot of deals with no money down. It's not a problem, but it cannot be a back-to-back LC deal. Or you can also find someone to finance the bridge LC if this is really what you want. I don't know what to answer because there's like so many possibilities to make deal without of your own money. But even with that type of LC, you just need to find someone that will fund the bridge between the two LCs. So yes, it's definitely possible. Hi, Damien. I wanted to ask you if you think it's okay to buy a way into commodity trading. I think it will be less a headache to buy a percentage of an already running company while also putting some know-how with sales and operations. What do you think? Thanks, regard, Gabriel. All right, Gabriel. So I understand where you are coming from, but I think even more a headache than to start there. Okay, so the problem is like if you have a well-run, well-managed, positive cash flow commodity trading, why would the guy offer you to purchase percentage of his company? And what is the deal? Is like, does the company emit new shares so that the money goes inside the company, or does the guy just want to sell his own share to you so then he can take your money and put it in his pocket? Then why would he need to do that if the company works? And honestly, what I've seen is like when someone wants to sell part of their company, is like sometimes there's some issue with the company. So I don't know. And how do you also the valuation? How do you put a valuation on the company? Man? Is it 3 years of EBITDA? Is it 1 year of EBITDA? Is it how do you put a valuation on it? I think it's very tough, especially for small business. If it's a large business, it's easier. But I don't know. I just think it's like a bit like looking for like a ship with 5 feet, you know. It's like, all right, it could be a good idea, but how do you materialize it in real life? I don't know. Hey, Damien, I hope all is well. I have a few questions I would love your thought on, all center on general communication etiquette. All right, you use the word etiquette. Nice. Let's see. As an experienced trader, what are your expectations or any route guideline? What would you place on yourself, on your team when it comes to communicate with supplier, buyer, etc.? What is a fair response time, especially while traveling? When is it the best to WhatsApp versus email, call versus messaging? When is appropriate to follow up? when to give extra time? Dude, this is a very good question. What is your name? Like Sam. All right, Sam, it's a very good question. So I can tell you, when I was an employee, we had like a 24-hour maximum reply to emails and messages. So basically everything must have been responded within 24 hours. And 24 hours is very long. It should have been within the same business day. And if we don't respond, there must be like a very, very, very good reason. About communication, so the thing is, you should reply as fast as possible. Always. That's pretty much it. And now everybody uses WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp, it's obviously very important, but as soon as you do something more, I mean, when you agreed on something on WhatsApp, you need to send an email to recap. As per WhatsApp message, please confirm, I think the email is more the formal way, and then otherwise everything in the WhatsApp. And I think, you should answer at least within 4 hours, I guess, all your messages when you are not sleeping. More than that, it starts to be a bit slow. Hello, Damien. I need advice on the timber business that I want to venture into. I'm ready to invest, but I feel I just need the final push. All right, dude, man. I don't know, man. It feels a bit scary that you need me for your final push. Perhaps I fear investing and selling to scammers. That's honestly a good fear. I really don't know how best to be sure the buyer are fine and genuine, because this world can be cruel. Best regard, Emmanuel. Yeah, man, for sure this world can be cruel. That's for sure. Look, man, and now I remember that I seen your name. You're the guy from Zambia, right? You have like hectares of timber that you could use. You know, if I were you, what I would do is like I would ask a commitment from a buyer, hard cash commitment from a buyer before doing anything, before investing. I mean, if you really do have like these huge hectares that you can use, I mean, you can basically invite any serious buyer to come, see what they have, and then to put a little commitment in cash in order for you to invest. And then it would de-risk your investing operation and also assure that you have like a committed buyer down the line. What hair product do you use? All right, I took this question from a previous video because I think it was so funny. You know why I think it was so funny? Because I do not wash my hair. That's something that, I've been doing that for like a year now, and seriously, it's the best decision I ever took. I used to have a lot of dandruff, you know, just little white on your shoulders. Yeah, I used to have a lot of issues with my hair, and then I stopped washing them. Obviously, I still shower them with water, but I don't use shampoo anymore. Man, it has changed everything. My hair are way better. So, yeah, I use no product on my hair. That's it, man. I'm a disgusting pig, but you know, it works. Hey Damien, for someone just starting their career, aiming to launch their own commodity trading business in the future, is it better to begin at a large commodity trading firm or at a small one? If you really want to launch your own trading firm and you have limited capital, then it's better to start in a small one, because you will have exposure to the type of deal that you will have to do as a small commodity trading house down the line. In your view, are traders to traders deals still worth pursuing in today's commodity trading industry? Patrick, you have two good questions. So, are trader to traders deal still worth pursuing? So what it means is that to sell to another trader as a trader. So I would say that it depends a lot in the industry. Like in some commodities it makes sense, in others it doesn't make sense. I would say it also depends where on the supply chain, because for instance in the chrome, what we do in South Africa, we purchase from the mine, we bring it to the port, then we sell to another trader that brings from the port in South Africa to the client in China. Maybe there's another Chinese importer that sells to a final client. So yeah, man, I would say like FOB-CIF deal. Yeah, let's say you buy FOB, sell FOB, and then the other trader buy also FOB, sell also FOB. Maybe in some commodities it's still possible because there is maybe a lot of speculation, but in like most straightforward commodity niche market, I don't think it makes sense. Hi Damien, my question is around margin. People say commodities has a lot of margins. Who said that? Oh, Moyo. All right, Moyo, it's you, Moyo. The person that told you that, all right? Please, I want you that in the future, disregard everything that they say. If they say that the earth is round, then it means the earth is definitely flat. You know? You can't trust that person because their judgment is extremely poor. I mean, no, in commodity there is notoriously very low margin. So no. What is a great margin? What is a great margin? But again, this question is so large. Let's read. Metals versus mineral versus agriculture versus energy. Yeah, man, Moyo, it's very difficult. I said 8% margin are great margin, but again, it depends. If you do ingredients, niche, maybe 8 is not enough. If you do extremely bulky, 8 is just impossible to get. It's very difficult to sell. Like if you do on very competitive market, maybe you're happy with 2 or 3. Secondly, should the margins be looked at as a percentage or as an absolute value? What I mean is, should be 4% margin or should be $20 a ton as an example? Yes, also that's a good question actually, because it will depend. Usually you look at the margin on metric ton basis. In most of the company, actually, your P&L, when you write your P&L, you look at it on per metric ton basis. This is the most common practice. But obviously, you can convert this per metric ton basis into percentage. But when traders do manually the P&L, they are most likely looking on per metric ton margin. Hi Damien, my question is, if you are early in your career and work in a niche agricultural commodity, would you recommend sticking with that commodity, or if given the opportunity to work in a different agri commodity, would you move to that? Thanks, Euros. Euros, what a weird name, dude. Okay, if I understand your question, you work for a niche agricultural company and you may have the opportunity to work for a bigger, still agricultural commodity trading company. It depends, man. But if your goal is to maximize your bonuses and potential earnings, you need to go where they are the most liquid and biggest market. So this is why the energy traders, they usually are paid the most. It's because they tackle bigger and bigger market, more volume. So if you want to optimize for potential earning, then go to the most liquid market, which most probably going to be more difficult and more competitive market to be in. Hi Damien, is there a chance to start as a trader in the cereal market? In the cereal market, Frosties, like Special K? Oh, what type of cereal? Yeah, no, I'm kidding. It's just usually we don't use the term cereal, but just grain. But anyway, sorry. And stay long term, considering that they are already well-established player. And if yes, which part of the supply chain would you recommend to be positioned? Obviously, with the exception of farmers, their products will always be bought. Man, let's carry on. I'm not sure I understand you. We are considering exporting from a major producing countries as Romania, where we are and currently based, to commercial hub like Dubai, developing countries like Egypt and other African countries. Thank you, Christian. All right, dude. Okay, so if I understand you well, your question is, does it make sense to try to start exporting grains out of Romania to other countries? And there are well-established players. So, dude, the question is like, do you have a lot of money and do you want to compete? Because exporting from Romania, from Bulgaria, from Ukraine, you are going to face massive players. There is all the biggest grain traders that have operation, that are buying, originating from those countries. Man, if you have capital, yes, why not? But man, it seems very difficult, man. It seems very difficult. Try to do niche stuff, yeah? Especially where you are, like the Black Sea grain market is one of the toughest and one of the most speculative grain market out there. So I don't know if it makes sense, honestly. Is it best for inexperienced to start doing deals at the local level before one goes international? Angelo. Hey, Angelo. Yes, it's way better, man. It's way better. If you can do local deals, I think in your case, man, you should do some type of scrap deals or cable deals, you know, copper cable deals. So yes, do local deals, even with very low margin, just to get used to the market, used to the product specification. So yes, I would recommend that for sure. Hi Damien, how do you see Dubai in the commodities trading space? Thank you, cheers from Spain, Mario. Actually, Mario, I even have like a video about Dubai here. And yes, I think Dubai is the new like Switzerland. So Switzerland developed itself as a commodity hub because during the Cold War, you know, because Switzerland was a place where the East and the West could basically do business together because it was a neutral country back then. Now, not really. And I think that now Dubai is a place where enemies could meet around the table and do business together. So yeah, there is good chance that Dubai will become an even more important place for commodity trading in the future. Hi Damien, how is it going? Honestly, man, I'm quite tired. It's Sunday night, like 10 p.m. So I'm hustling, you see. How important is it to know foreign languages in commodity trading? Very important. Knowing some unconventional languages such as Portuguese, Russian or Chinese can give you edge that you sometimes talk about. Best regard, Luigi. It's funny, Luigi, that, I mean, obviously you're, I guess, Italian. So for you, unconventional languages are Portuguese, Russian, Chinese, for sure. But if you go to Singapore, speaking Mandarin, speaking Chinese is not really uncommon. Like everybody speaks Mandarin. So I think what is important, okay, languages is still extremely important. Even though now AI can almost like translate as fast as you can speak, still speaking the languages of your buyers, of your supplier, it's very important. And I think what you need to understand is like it's important to know unconventional languages. All right, as an Italian, if you speak Mandarin, if you speak Russian, it's a massive plus. As a Chinese, all right, if you speak Italian, it's a massive plus also. But if you are like an Italian and you speak Spanish, French, it's not a massive plus, you know. So it's important to speak a language that most of the people around you doesn't speak. Does it make sense? How to survive in commodity trading having big traders with more capital than us? We cannot beat their prices. Low code. It's a weird name also, man. 2D at the end, where were you from, man? All right, about the question. So, man, the capital is not going to give access to better prices. All right, I shouldn't say that like this. All right, if you trade like niche trade flows, like niche commodity, like what I do, then you are specifically looking for trade flows where capital is not an advantage, all right? So obviously, the big commodities, it's not that it's better to have capital, it's you have to have capital, all right? And as much capital as possible. But there's multitude of small trade flow where the advantage of the capital is not there, because they can't get like a more competitive prices with more capital. And there's a lot of reason for that. So if you want to start your own trading firm, you need to focus on those niche trade flow, all right? Hey Damian, I'm a 26 years old Italian trying to start and looking for deals beside my 9 to 5. 2 questions from my side. As per nature, finding a buyer can be much trickier than finding a supplier. So yeah, definitely, I mean, the world has completely changed. Now, having a supplier means nothing. You need to have the attention of your buyer. How would you sell yourself if you are 26 and you would have to introduce yourself to potential buyers to get info what to look for in the market and potentially come back with an offer? Hey man, the fact that you are very young is a massive edge, It's like, you can basically introduce yourself to the business owner and so on. You can say that you are doing some research for like a paper, blah, 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 or for a paper for university. You can say that you are doing some research because you are trying to do something. You can say that you are trying that you just want 5 minutes of the time because you're trying to do some research, because you want to do some potential entrepreneurial endeavors or stuff like that, man. You can play the card that you are young with a lot of energy and that you want to learn. And usually people tend to like that. I think it's harder when you are older to play on that angle. Do you have experience in internet market? If yes, what do you think are the trickiest sides of this market? Many thanks, Ali. Yeah, I did a lot of deals in Italy with Italians. And what is the trickiest? I mean, obviously it's Italy, so I mean, they will not pay you. They will be extremely late to pay. Claims. I mean, this is normal stuff. I don't know if they like. I mean, I've never faced like some mafioso shit or what. Hi, Damian. I'm an international student in China and I'll be graduating soon. I speak 3 languages, including Chinese and Arabic. My family owns a commodity trading company in Egypt with over 100 direct and indirect employees. How do you calculate indirect employees, dude? I want to build my own path and start my own commodity trading business. What is your advice and how can I create a business plan to reach success? All right, dude. First of all, why aren't you a student of the Shipping and Commodity Academy? If you want a path to success, it will start with this. So, no, but seriously, man, seriously. I'm not even kidding. I think this is, you should definitely hardly think about it. Secondly, if I were you in your shoes, what I would do is I would sell something to Egypt. The fact that you are in China right now, you speak Chinese, and that your company has a massive network in Egypt, I would use the network in Egypt to buy some stuff in China and sell it to Egypt. Hello, I'm one of your subscribers and I will thank you for your advice on YouTube. Thank you. The question I ask for your next video is about sales. What is your process? How do you create trust and persuade buyers that you can bring value to them? I mean, honestly, man, it's not like you cannot manufacture trust or value if there is no trust and no value at the first place. So it must be grounded in some reality. I recently starting a business trading polymers. I've sent 250 cold email and got 10 replies. These buyers requested me to send specification and prices, but as soon as I give them the catalog and prices, they disappear. So I call them and all they say is, oh, price too high, this is not for us, discuss later, etc. I also try to catch a call session, but buyer just want to know prices and specs, won't spare a minute. Since I'm nobody, now it seems that starting without any anchor buyer is extremely difficult. I know you closed deal without even meeting the buyer in West Africa. How did you maintain a relationship with her before the deal happened? Sharing info? Would really want to know your experience and building trust before closing deal. Thanks, Jordan. All right, Jude. So first of all, what he's speaking when he said that he know that I closed the deal without seeing the buyer in West Africa is some story that I said in another video. And man, I've been doing this for 15 years. It happened like a couple of times, and this is one of the time. And I was not nobody. I mean, at the time I worked for a company, but I was already doing a lot of deal in the region. I knew everything in the region, so I could feed her with extremely detailed information about what was happening in the region. If your goal is to close a deal without seeing the buyer, man, just do something different, because it won't happen. I'll be completely honest, it won't happen. And you are basically the guy that, how can I say, okay, you know, friend zone. You are getting friend zone because you give the information that they want before speaking with them. What I would do is I would not send cold email, I would just straight call and basically try to qualify on the first call with the buyer if you can supply them something of value. Because you said, how do you persuade them, how do you create value? But man, it's like you cannot create value if you have no value to give them. So you need first to know what they need, so then you can see if what you sell is something that can respond to their need. Then you are already a little bit there in terms of value. Then what are the payment terms that you ask, man? Do you create value really if you ask like 100% prepayment? I mean, I think you are hustling, man, no problem. But just the strategy is completely wrong. And then if you think that you can close a deal without seeing the people, man, you're out of your mind, man. You need to fly and meet them. What I would do is I would not send like any prices before speaking with them and qualifying to see if it makes sense for them to deal business with you. I think your strategy is just wrong, honestly. All right, it's almost the end of the video. Now the 8 questions that are the most asked by beginners. Let's dive in. I will be fast for those ones. How do traders actually make money in physical commodities? Easy. Most of the time it's an arbitrage. It's going to be a geographical arbitrage or a time arbitrage. So I'm going to buy something where it's cheap, like cocoa in Ivory Coast, and sell it where there is no cocoa, like cocoa in North Europe. Geographical arbitrage. And another time arbitrage is basically I'm going to buy something today, store it, and bearing the cost of carrying through time to resell it at a higher price in the future. And obviously, if your cost of carry is cheaper than the curve, the future curve, then you should make money. What is the difference between physical and paper trading? Paper trading is everything that you do on the computer by clicking button, option, warrant, futures, whatever, and physical is moving those stuff. Can someone with no finance background get into commodity trading? I would even say that most of the people in commodity trading do not have a finance background. How do you find suppliers and buyers when you are just starting out? Again, I have a video like 0 to 1, I will put it here. But basically, in this video, I explained that I think it's almost the only way to start in this industry is you need to use your network, and your network will introduce you to someone, and then you will use that person as an anchor buyer. Because out of the blue, it's almost impossible. You really need to take the credibility from someone from your network, and this person will introduce you to someone. This is usually how it starts. How much money do you need to start a commodity trading business? All right, extremely common question again. I would say that you need to have at least the capital to do one lot, one container, one truck of whatever you want to trade. Which commodities are easiest to start trading as a beginner? This is also a very common question, and there is no easiest commodity. What you need to start trading is the commodity that your anchor buyer wants to purchase. That's it. You will not say, oh, I think lithium is hot, I think copper is hot, so I want to do it. No. You will try to look for a buyer and you will ask what this buyer wants, and then you will start trading what this buyer wants. That's it. What are the biggest lies people believe about commodity trading? I think the biggest lie will be about speculation. Honestly, it's mostly big firms that speculate or small firms that are focused on speculation, but most of the actors, most of the market do not speculate because they just can't take a loss. So yeah, there is actually quite little speculation. All right, that's it for me today. I hope that you liked the video, that you learned something, and if you want to break into the world of commodity trading, just click the first link below this video and you will learn on Shipping in Commodity Academy. Ciao!